Today we'll be reviewing the best practices for a typical Gunderson exam room. So the typical exam room is a 10 foot by 12 foot room. Standard door is a 40-inch door for family medicine and can be adjusted depending on the department. The light switch is a typical location, as well as the curtain track, which runs at an angle across at a 45 into the middle of the room, separating the door from the patient table. It also has a tie back to help when it's out of use to be tied back. If the curtain is not in use, we always install the curtain track as well for any future need. Also on the head wall is the patient nurse call button that can be given to the patient when the provider is out of the room. The head wall is the only wall that doesn't get wall protection. We also have a convenience outlet and power for the powered exam table on this wall. This wall will have the diagnostic set. It's a standard board that we'll use, and depending on the department, they can add certain items to the board. We'll provide a quad electrical outlet to be powered for the diagnostic board, as well as a convenient outlet below. Next to that will be the glove boxes, typically 3 to 4 depending on the department, as well as cup holders for patients in the room. We also in these rooms have, this is a dual 3-way switch for lighting control, and the lighting can be dimmed off of the 3-way switch depending on the need for the patient or for the provider. So the casework in the room is a 4-foot counter. It has an integral sink, stainless steel bowl with a gooseneck faucet. The back has a P-lamp panel with a accessory rail that runs the length of the back panel, typically 4 feet long. The accessory rail can include things such as soap, paper towel, potentially glove or mask holder, and sanitizer, depending on the department's need. The upper cabinets have just shelving inside of them, and they actually will open and include some adjustable shelving in both of these. The casework has a slope top for ease of dusting on the top of the casework. The lower section of the casework includes an apron for the sink and a rolling cart that can be customized. The rolling cart has a solid surface top that matches the countertop. It is, like I said, adjustable for the department depending on their needs. Depending what they would like, they can do all drawers or a mix of doors and drawers for the rolling cart. It can be moved around inside the room and be stocked for what their certain needs are for the department. The back wall of the exam room includes a piece of art, an accent color depending on the floor that you're on. The wall protection will run at 3 feet around the back side and along where the provider desk is. The 2 chairs for patients will include 2 side chairs, 1 with arms, 1 without, and they're vinyl covered chairs. On this wall is where the patient will sit next to the table. We have a button for nurse call, a push to help that goes back to the providers and nurses in the department if there's an issue when they're out of the room. On the wall, we'll put the blood pressure monitor in place to allow the provider to take the blood pressure in a seated position next to the desk. The desk itself includes the provider who sits closest to the door with a stool, a vinyl wrapped stool, with or without a back typically, but the provider will always sit closest to the door and the patient closest to the back of the room. Behind the computer monitor, there is slat wall and a tack board for any information that providers or nurses want to display. It also holds, the slat wall will hold areas for different accessories as the department would like to customize it. The monitor in the room actually has a swing arm monitor, so it can be turned to the patient if needed or back away to where the provider is sitting. And the half-round desk also creates a little more collaboration between the patient and the provider. The power and data that we provide on this wall is typically 4 outlets for power and our standard 2 outlets or 2 data jacks for this location. All the computers are mounted underneath to get away from any knees. So on this wall we have the nurse call control station. It has all the information needed to communicate. This is a customized digital display for each department and can be customized for their needs. We also have the sanitizer on the wall next to the door, which is in a standard location, as well as 2 coat hooks that are installed on the wall behind the door. Again, this wall gets wall protection, Impro wall protection up to 3 feet along the entire wall with a door wall stop. The RTLS tracking device that's integrated in with the nurse call system, the curtain track and how it's curved into the middle of the room to separate the door from the table itself. We use the 2x4 LED lights in here with the full 0 to 10 volt dimming. Standard flooring in a typical exam room is our Nora rubber product. It includes the 4-inch vinyl base that would run throughout the room as well. Typically there's an accent or 2 accent strips in the exam room at the front of the room with the field color towards the back of the room.